Wait, there's a spot here, Coat, right here down the street. Fucking amazing, bro.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna go to a steakhouse. It's expensive, but it's great.
I've had tomahawk steak. I had porterhouse.
No, this is like you get little pieces, but they bring
little pieces.
They cook it in front of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's good. It's like it's gonna run you up. You're gonna spend like $1,000, but
they can't go wrong with good steak.
It's as far as steaks go, they bring you the best cuts of meat in the world. In the world, they ship it from Japan.
They have Wagyu.
They ship from Japan,
Wagyu.
not American. They bring it from Japan. So if you're gonna take your girl out, Coat right here. If you can get a reservation.
Bet.
Bro,
that's a good idea.
It's definitely like when I say it's literally some of the best cuts of meat in the entire planet. It's fucking amazing.
Bet. Say less. The Coat. Say less. I'll look into that. I'll definitely look into that. I'll take accountability. I'll look into that and I'll go find out. Because of course, I think this is the last step. Of course, as it pertains to taking accountability, is setting goals, taking action. Right? Because we've talked about this ad nauseum.
The segue is crazy.
Right.
My ADHD failed to connect that.
Right.
A steak is accountability.
Right, of course.
It's the final step.
Because it's multiple different cuts, right? But at the end of the day, you're going to get yourself a magnificent product. And ultimately, with accountability, there's multiple different aspects, but you'll get a product at the end, which is true accountability
I need to pee so
across
bad.
the board. Yeah, you go take a piss.
Sorry.
Let me talk to the people. I'll take a
to the people.
Right? So essentially, this is what you want to do as it pertains to accountability, right? You want to be able to own your mistakes, and also you want to be able to learn from your mistakes. These are two crucial parts of being able to take accountability. But above all else, right, not just seeking feedback or being able to accept feedback from the masses, being able to apologize when you're wrong, and of course, being able to have some form of self-reflection. The biggest part of accountability is being able to set goals and then take action. Be a man of your word. Be a woman of your word. Don't be somebody who's out here selling lip service. That's ridiculous. I'm gonna go out here and do 50 push-ups every single day for a month. All of a sudden, month 5, or I should say day 5, you've now stopped hitting the floor. Push the floor. You said you were gonna do it, right? You see yourself every single day. You cannot allow yourself to look yourself in the mirror and be a failure. You said you were going to do something, go ahead and do it. There's no problem in failing, but there's no honor in not trying. You got to be out there going 110% if you're going to hold yourself accountable. All right? So make sure you hold yourself accountable every single day. It's important. You'll never be able to move past your childhood traumas, your adulthood traumas, whatever the case may be, if you don't hold yourself accountable. You have to be able to take control of your life. You understand what I'm saying? This is big. It's very important. It's incredibly important. But now you take a moment to talk about your self-accountability journey, right? What is it that you had to do to get yourself to this point here as it pertains to just accountability? What was one big thing that you said, I got to cut this out because this is holding me down. This is an anchor.
I think for me, I'm a big seeker of cheap dopamine, like everyone else.
Right.
And naturally, you're going to gravitate towards that. So the way I see it, anything that is way too enjoyable, I will cut it out of my life. I like to live in the mud, you know? If I'm having fun with something, I cut it out of my life. Let's say I go and get a nice steak, cut it out of my life. I will refuse to eat something good every single day because it's just too enjoyable. Or I'll refuse to not work out because it's too enjoyable. I'll refuse to I don't know, have too much sex because it's too enjoyable. I will cut anything that's too enjoyable out of my life because anything that you do way too much, it's not going to be good for you.
Right.
I think that's a big part of it because then you're forced to do something else that's not as enjoyable. So let's say you're where normally throughout the day, I'd be watching TV. Too enjoyable. Replace it with something else. I'll go on my computer and I'll start working. I'll go to the gym and start working. Once I replace that with once I replace something enjoyable with something that's not enjoyable, the quality of your life starts to change. And then you start getting used to doing things that are not enjoyable. It becomes part of your routine. And then from there, I mean, as far as accountability, at the end of the day, you really just have to ask yourself what kind of life you want. I feel like all this advice we're giving is cliche, which is why it's frustrating, but it's just literally just the truth. Right. You know, and you can't really give any other advice other than that. Like, that's really what it is.
100%. And I really like that as it pertains to take away something that you're really enjoying and then replace it with something that perhaps you're not enjoying. Just in that retrospect, you're in a spot where, okay, this is making me feel this way and it feels amazing, but it's now neglecting what is it you want to do. Because it's not like, all right, life is great, you're doing everything you have to do, and now all of a sudden you no longer want to do something that you enjoy. No, if your life is not so great, and you're lacking heavily in, like, whether it be your business, your fitness, your relationship, whatever the case is, something has got to be sacrificed. So what are you willing to give up to go up, right? For me, my biggest thing that I always looked at and said, all right, I've got to make sure that I'm on cue, has been procrastination. I'll say, all right, I'll do something. And then although I would do it, I wouldn't do it in a particular kind of time frame. So I'd say, okay, if I'm procrastinating, I'm not on top of my stuff. When I said I was going to be on top of my stuff, I got to give something up. So, all right, cool. What is the punishment? I would tell myself, all right, I can't go to sleep until I do about 500 push-ups if I don't do this thing. I may enjoy doing push-ups, but guess what? It's 11 o'clock now. So if I don't get this thing done by this particular time, when I know, and I won't set something that's completely crazy. Like, I'm like, all right, I'll just finish this entire project in 1 hour. That's crazy. But if I told myself in the beginning of the day, hey, I was going to get this accomplished, and I procrastinated all day, now I'm looking at the clock like, oh, wait a minute, I got 1 hour to get this thing done, or I'm going to have to hit the floor, and I can't go to sleep until I do this thing. So you have to find a way to hold yourself, what's a penalty that you can put over there? Yeah. So that now with procrastination, I've worked my way towards a point where I don't procrastinate as much anymore. There's still moments in which I do, and I punish myself for that.